This is the key fob for the A5. It has 4 buttons on it. This is the owner's manual for the A5. It has 340 pages of descriptions of how to use the technology in this car. This makes Catcher in the Rye look like Cliff Notes. Let me show you what I mean. Page 46 has 6 pages of pictures and words on how to use this device. Okay? Page 77 shows you how to set the Earth's magnetic deflection zone. Okay? Page 164 has a brief explanation of the laws of physics. And on page 220, I don't even know what it does, because I couldn't even get that far. But these are all toys. These are all fun little gadgets. What do I want to do? I want to get in that car and go hit that road. The A5 is not a sports car. It's a luxury car. Having said that, this car has quite a few technologies in it that trickle down from racing programs, like variable valve timing, Audi's Quattro system, which started with the rallying in the early 80s. There's also anti-lock brakes, we've got traction control, and most importantly, Audi's FSI direct gas injection system, which can improve either fuel economy or performance depending on how the driver feels like using it. So with all that in mind, I think it's time we go back up to Lime Rock with this car and talk to the Audi people about how racing technology is going to affect our street cars in the future. We're here with Christian Bokich, PR manager for Audi Motorsport. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, no problem.
Now, the question of the day is, why do manufacturers race?
I think for any racing series, you want to race on this weekend, sell on Monday. You want to sell cars.
Yeah.
But I think for Formula One, people race for different reasons. I think that, though, another thing that underlies for all racing is to show technology, at least in Formula One and American Le Mans Series and Le Mans.
Obviously, we've got the diesel technology and biodiesels that you guys are running now, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think the timeline is to go from prototype cars running biodiesel to the A4 running biodiesel?
The R8 was the best example that we had in the American Le Mans Series, running Le Mans,
okay.
The R8 race car.
Yeah, and that was the FSI is going down.
Yeah, 2000 to early 2006. 98% of all of our cars now have FSI, the gasoline cars. But that was already really close to 2005, so it probably is a run between 2 to 4 years before a car actually gets.
It's actually not that big. It's not that big a spread.
No. You see today, you see an engine that we recently announced, the 3.0 TFSI.
Mm-hmm.
I drove that test engine 4 years ago on the Autobahn.
And how was it?
Really nice.
As he said very subtly.
Well, the point is that we came out with that technology way before even our competitor came out with a nice V6. Mm-hmm. And so these investments get taken out a long time ago. Without getting off topic, fuel efficiency is something that an automaker can't now just jump onto and change in next year's fuel economy numbers. I mean, either you're committed to high technology or not. I mean, from a German perspective, they have to meet U.S. emission standards, so FSI helps it.
Yeah.
But you also get more power and torque.
Now, if you're developing something in a race car, like a race diesel engine, is it easier to then adapt that to street version, to street trim, or would it be, easier to beef up street stuff for a race car?
Race car down to regular cars is better because although there is a cross-reference, when we got in Sebring in March of 2008, we had the R8, the red R8 TDI Le Mans at Sebring. Well, it was low on gas because we flew it from Germany. It had arrived in Miami the day before, and it was trucked up to Sebring in a nondescript trailer.
Yeah.
And we took it out of the trailer, got it on the ground, but it had no gas in it. So we could have either gone down the street to get gas, or we just went back to our racing hospitality, and we put the synthetic gas to liquid.
And it ran fine?
And yeah, I mean, it's made to cross-reference each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly exotic fuel at the end of the day, what the compound is.
Yeah.
It's a synthetic, cool process behind it, and the plant is in Malaysia, but where all the fuel is created for GTL at the moment from the Shell perspective.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we just fueled it in. They have high-speed fuelings, but they changed the converter on it to a normal converter, and it was fine. Somebody was just sitting there pumping it in.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. And from Sebring to New York City, back to Miami, that whole tank of fuel lasted for a while.
Nice. Well,
So-
what about from the other end of the spectrum, from a brand enhancement spectrum? I mean, Ferrari's been doing it for years and years and years, and a lot of people are into Ferraris because of that racing heritage. Are you trying to go that direction with Audi too?
Yeah, you have to give credit where credit is due. Ferrari's done it for years. Porsche, I don't think, has ever not raced since its existence in multiple series. I don't even know if many Porsche owners own it. Maybe they buy the cars for prestige, but Porsche has that track record.
Yeah. Well, a
you
lot of
cannot
Porsche
deny.
guys track their cars.
Yeah.
Much higher percentage than Ferrari guys. Probably.
Right. But it doesn't matter if you're a Beverly Hills customer or if you're a hardcore track guy. You're subscribing to something. But on the Audi side, motorsport has been a big deal. I mean, okay, in the 30s we did it, in the 20s, but even the early 80s, from rally
the
through
Group
the
B
IMSA,
stuff,
the GTO stuff, and American Le Mans series since the late 90s and 2000. It's a great thing for customers to come in and say, "Oh, this is great." I mean, this confirms why the hell you're buying an Audi. To say this is a high-tech car, somebody's promoting the technology. What I'm seeing driving around is going to be used in real cars. So in diesel, we're bringing diesel in March of 09 in a Q7, but it's going to have worldwide application for all our diesel cars in the future, whether they're probably 4, 6, 8-cylinder diesels. And we're testing different things out. And while we can never talk about things of what we're testing, for Le Mans we use a small amount of biomass to liquid fuel, and which basically uses garbage.
Yeah. And
Different points of garbage, and I don't know
identical?
the details. But that's the point: is that you have regular fossil fuel diesel, then you had synthetic gas to liquid, which is still kind of fossil fuel based.
Yeah.
But then you can use that synthetic process to then do the third step to say biomass to liquid. So the fossil
Biomass,
fuel,
is that the algae diesel?
not necessarily. It's probably more garbage based, and I don't have. It's all the
Scientific.
percentage we used is confidential still. The process we use is scientific. But the Audi is supporting that. The next level of deal shows, hey, we're leaders in diesel. We were leaders in turbo diesel in '89. And we're leaders in diesel now. And what's great about diesel is that it's an oldie but a goodie,
Yeah.
right?
Still works.
I mean,
and it works better now than it used to work.
it probably still has the most potential of any fuel out there right now. And while gasoline is great food stuff, we're racing diesel right now to show that, hey, this has always been a good thing. But also for American customers, the reason why we're doing this is to, mostly in America, is to show that diesel is clean, fast, quiet, and efficient versus
well, your cars are
180 degrees.
The R10s are fast as hell, dead silent, and as reliable as it gets in terms of race cars.
Yeah. So the diesel, I mean, the benefits are going to keep playing out.
Yeah. Do you
For
think the
years from
future
now.
of endurance racing is diesel?
There's really a lot of solutions. I mean, we've had our Audi executives say electric cars are the future. Yes, but maybe we'll have a hybrid car too, and we'll have a diesel. the good news and the bad news is that it's splintering.
Yeah.
So a car company has to invest in multiple technologies. The good part about it is that you got a lot of guys knowing a lot about a lot of different things. For example, we had a lot of turbochargers in the early part of this decade. Then we moved to big engines, and then we're back. Now we're doing turbochargers, but also compressors.
Now you're also doing turbocharged big engines.
And we're talking about real people who developed these cars for years at Audi.
Yeah.
So keeping broadening your perspective. I mean, and these guys stay at the company their whole career. So the fact that everybody keeps rotating technologies is
Do you
good.
have the motorsport guys?
Everybody's got their portfolio.
Do you have the guys who work on the race car go back to work on the street cars and
Directly.
keep rotating them around?
Directly. Ingolstadt in Bavaria is the home office.
Yeah.
There's a lot of development there. There's a lot of design work that goes there. But Neckarsulm, which is the other is in Baden-Württemberg, which is the other southern German province, where close to Stuttgart, actually, where Mercedes and Porsche are. That's where we make all the aluminum A8s, build the R8s by hand, do all of our diesel development, and Quattro GmbH is there that does our sport tuning development. So they did the final tuning on all the RS4s.
Oh, cool.
They do all the RS6s now that are sold in Europe and the rest of the world.
And what about the race cars? Where are those?
So that was the last thing, is that Audi Sport is based in Neckarsulm, directly where the TDI development is.
Oh, okay.
So Neckarsulm is actually our high-tech, high-everything R&D super secret area.
Cool.
A lot of R&D's in Ingolstadt, but you're talking about really the high-end, high-stakes, high-everything. It takes place in Neckarsulm. So there's direct inputs. I mean,
awesome.
There's absolutely direct communication going on.
Well, there you have it. Race technology is working in street cars just 2 years after it shows up in the race car. Thanks for being on the show, Christian. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
6 pages in the owner's manual, an entire space shuttle worth of electronics. Someone please explain to me why I can do this. Here, ready? Here's an experiment. This is not CGI, because we can't afford CGI.